Hey guys, welcome back here to today's episode of Intuitive Angling. And man, appreciate you guys swinging by the channel and checking today's episode out. Going to give you all my second practice day report up here at Lake of the Ozarks. Tomorrow we got our first BFL tournament for the Ozark division starting, and had about 5 or 6 hours to practice yesterday. Had 5 or 6 hours practice today. Going to give you a rundown on what happened and what my plan is for tomorrow in the tournament here. Also, guys, it has been cold and blustery today, man. When I put the boat in the water this morning, 23 degrees, and I got a new pair of gloves a couple weeks ago. Guys, these are the Sims sealskin gloves. These are the best gloves I have ever used. Waterproof, super warm, super flexible. They got these pads on them here so you can still touch your cell phone with it. You can get them at Tackle Warehouse. I'll put the link in my Tackle Warehouse description through my for this glove if you guys would like to use my link to get a pair, but that's where I got mine there at Tackle Warehouse. You guys will absolutely love these things here, so link will be in the description if you want to get you a good pair of gloves. And also, guys, real quick, next week we're going to have our second live stream, private live stream here on Intuitive Angling. If you guys would like to be part of that live stream, all you have to do is join up as an Intuitive Angling channel member or a Patreon member. Just go to my homepage, click the join button for information, or go to the description in this video to join up with Patreon. And like I said, we had our first live stream last week. This is sort of the perk I'm doing for the members of the channel. Great time, got a lot of fishing talk going in, got a lot of comments we're answering. So hope to see you guys next week there on the live stream. Okay, guys, yesterday I went out, if you guys saw the video yesterday, had 5 or 6 hours to fish, and it's pretty much sucked. I caught 4 or 5 fish all day long, no little ones. I think I had one that might have been a keeper. So anyway, today I decided to go to a different part of the lake. So I went to a different part of the lake, took Elijah to school this morning, had a promo to do for Bridgeford, so I didn't get on the lake until almost 10 o'clock. Put the boat in the water, and right off the bat, I caught 2 nice ones. I'm talking like the first 5 minutes I was out there, I caught 2 nice fish, and then 3 or 4 other, smaller ones out there. And then it just freaking died after that. It's like the first hour, I had all those bites and never had another bite the rest of the day, which I do not understand because there was a ton of water, just like where I caught the first 2 there. So, given that, guys, I'm back to square one tomorrow. Right after I caught those first 2, I really thought that, I could expand on it, but I fished enough of the water in the area. They're just not up there. There's a few fish up there, but there's not very many fish up there. And I got to keep looking tomorrow. So here's my sort of analysis of what's going on here in the tournament and sort of give you guys my thought process, what I'm thinking here. Okay, a lot of the tournament fishing, you have to really feel what the fish are going to be doing in the tournament as far as the weather patterns. So tomorrow in the tournament, we're supposed to have some nasty weather. It's supposed to be cold, possibility of some snow and some sleet, all that type of stuff. We had a post-frontal day today. Yesterday, if you guys watched the video, it was 70 degrees. It was warm, super windy. I actually did the video yesterday. I had a short sleeve shirt on. And then this morning, when I put the boat in the water, 23 degrees. The wind had switched out of the north, blowing super hard and cold out of the north. Bright bluebird skies, as you can see behind me. Completely different type of a day. And tomorrow we're supposed to have, chance of snow flurries and that type of thing. Given that, here's what I'm gambling on. It's like, of course, I'm going to fish shallow, always do. I'm not going to get out there and use the cheater box, which I don't even have one to use, but I don't care if they gave me 20 of them, I still wouldn't use them. But I'm going to get out there and basically do the same thing tomorrow in a different part of the lake, anticipating those fish to be a little bit more aggressive and maybe move up shallower with the snow and the sleet and the rain. It's like, anytime that you've got water temperatures in the 40s or 50s and you get a nasty day like we're supposed to have, almost inevitably you can catch some fish shallow. It's like, it happens everywhere that I've went. So that's what I'm banking on in the tournament. And a couple of different things that I found out here. I've been trying to really pinpoint the sort of like the mood and, if the fish are in a chasing mood or not. And I caught a couple fish on a crankbait, but I really thought I could catch some decent fish on a crankbait here. I can't get them going on it. I mean, I'll probably still throw one a little bit tomorrow just because of the weather, But most of the fish I've been catching have been on my mega bass jerk baits, like I always fish up here. I have slowed down a little bit with the jig. I fish a little bit slow. I fish some different types of crankbaits and mix some different type of stuff up. But most of these fish on the lake right now, they're just out. And that's why this is probably going to be a, Spotlighters benefit tournament like it always is up here this time of year. There's so much brush in this lake that anglers have put in that those guys that live here, and there's a lot of locals that fish Lake of the Ozarks here, they're going to get out there with their spotlight machine over the top of those brush piles where those shad schools are at, and they're going to freaking catch them on a swim bait and Alabama rig and maybe a jerk bait over the top of that stuff. So in order for me to compete with that, I've got to get something going shallow. I mean, last year in the tournament, it was pretty similar conditions. I had 3 fish that weighed, in our BFL up here last March, I had 3 fish that weighed 15 pounds in the tournament. So if I could have just got 2 more bites, I'd have won the tournament fishing shallow. So it definitely can be done. But I don't know. I thought it'd be a little bit easier. The last couple of years that we fished up here this time of year, the water, we've had ice on the lake, like like a lot of the coves have had ice on it. So the water was a little bit warmer this year, and we didn't have the shad die off. We've had some big shad die offs the last 2 years, but I don't know. It's hard to get a bite for me. I mean, I fish this lake a lot, and I think it's pretty tough. Of course, I'll hear in the comments like, "Oh, the bite's on fire, Randy. Ozarks, they're going to catch giant bags. They're ripping them up there." It's like, well, good for them if they're catching them, because it has been a freaking grind for me the last 2 days. I can tell you that. So anyway, guys, that's sort of my plan. I'm going to go back to the house tonight, start working on tackle. I'm probably going to have 3 or 4 different type of jerk baits on, megabass jerk baits, different colors and different profiles. Probably have a crankbait or 2 on. I don't think I'm going to slow down with a jig or anything. So if I do well in the tournament, it'll be on a jig or, a crankbait or a jerk bait. That's just what my plan is. But you never know, man. That's the thing about it. It's like there's no guarantees in fishing. Tomorrow's going to be a different day condition-wise, and you just sort of have to let it unfold. Fish very seldom stay in the same place for 2 days in a row. And sort of going to be that way in this tournament here. This lake, one of the things about it, there's so many tournaments on Lake of the Ozarks that a lot of the better areas are, everybody knows where they're at. I mean, there's 3 or 4 different areas on the lake here where most of the tournaments get one at, and that's where most of the people are at. So I just got to land on, one of those type of areas where there's some bigger fish up shallow, ready to bite into those conditions. But anyway, in tournament fishing, what you have to do is you sort of have to take what it comes to you, because some tournaments you're in position to have a chance to win the tournament or finish high. And in other tournaments, it's a successful tournament if you can just grind out a check. It just depends on what you got going. So this is the first tournament of the year. Just want to get some consistency for the year. The regional championships at Grand Lake, which is one of my favorite lakes. Well, it used to be one of my favorite lakes until it got hammered to death by tournaments the last 10 years. But anyway, I'd like to get to that regional championship again this year. So I will give you guys the tournament rundown tomorrow as soon as I get off the water. Appreciate you guys tuning in for all the pre-tournament stuff here, and hope you guys are having a good day, and we'll talk later.